The medical bay of the celestial wanderer hummed with the soft blue glow of diagnostic panels, casting long shadows across the sterile white walls. Alara sat on the examination table, her legs dangling over the edge as she rubbed the back of her neck. The human engineer had spent the last 72 hours straight in the engine room, jury-rigging a solution to keep the ship's failing quantum drive from collapsing mid-jump. Dark circles shadowed her eyes, and her auburn hair hung in a messy ponytail that had given up any pretense of organization days ago. Dr. Voss, the ship's physician, a tall, crystalline Kvalari, whose body refracted light into rainbow patterns, extended one of his 4 manipulator arms toward her with a glowing scanner. His voice resonated like wind chimes in a breeze. "Your cortisol levels are dangerously elevated, Alara. Your neural activity shows signs of severe exhaustion. I am prescribing mandatory rest for the next 48 hours. Doc, I appreciate the concern, but the calibration sequence isn't finished," Alara protested, already sliding off the table. "If I don't monitor the resonance frequencies every 6 hours, Chief Engineer Torvik has been briefed and will handle the monitoring." "Doctor," Voss interrupted, his crystalline face somehow managing to convey stern disapproval despite having no recognizable features. "Humans require sleep to function optimally. Your species' stubborn disregard for biological necessities is well documented. But I will not allow you to damage yourself further aboard this vessel." End quote. Alara opened her mouth to argue, but Dr. Voss had already turned away, his translucent fingers dancing across a holographic interface. "I am uploading the rest protocol to your quarters. Your access to engineering systems will be temporarily restricted." "You can't be serious." "Completely serious. Now go, before I have Security Coordinator Thane escort you." Defeated, Alara trudged toward the medical bay exit, her shoulders slumped. The doors hissed open, and she nearly collided with a small, furry figure barreling in from the corridor. "Alara!" The voice was high-pitched and filled with concern. Kiri, a juvenile Falori, skidded to a halt on all fours. The cub couldn't have been more than 4 standard years old, still young enough that her tawny fur stuck up in tufts around her oversized ears, and her tail lashed with barely contained energy. She was the daughter of Ambassador Rena, one of the diplomatic envoys traveling aboard the Celestial Wanderer, and had somehow adopted Alara as her favorite human weeks ago. "Kiri, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be in..." The cub's golden eyes went wide as she looked Alara up and down. "You look terrible. Your fur is all messy and your eyes are droopy and you smell like metal and sadness." Despite her exhaustion, Alara couldn't help but smile. "Thanks for the assessment, kiddo. I'm just tired." Dr. Voss's chiming voice called out from deeper in the medical bay. "Young Kiri, this is not a playground. If you require medical attention, please wait your turn." Kiri's ears flattened against her skull, and she dropped into what Alara had learned was the Falori equivalent of a stubborn crouch. "I'm here for Alara. She needs help." "She needs rest," Dr. Voss corrected, materializing beside them with the sudden, unsettling way Kvalari moved. "Which I have prescribed." The cub's tail thrashed once, decisively. "Rest isn't enough. Humans need special care." Before either adult could react, Kiri sprang forward with the lightning reflexes of her species, snatched the medkit from Dr. Voss's secondary manipulator arm, and clutched it to her chest. "Kiri, return that immediately." Dr. Voss's voice lost its musical quality, becoming sharp. "No." The cub backed toward Alara, her fur bristling. "Only I can administer Scritches. That's what humans need when they're sad and tired. Mama told me." Alara blinked, trying to process what was happening through the fog of exhaustion. "Scritches? Yes." Kiri nodded emphatically, still guarding the medkit like a treasure. "Mama said humans are pack-bonding creatures who respond to tactile affection during stress. It's in the Falori human cultural exchange documentation. Physical comfort reduces their cortisol and increases their oxytocin." Dr. Voss's crystalline body flickered with what might have been surprise. "That is technically accurate, but..." "So, I'm prescribing Scritches," Kiri declared with all the authority her small frame could muster. She looked up at Alara with those enormous golden eyes. You're going to your quarters, and I'm coming with you, and I'm going to make sure you rest properly. With purring, Mama says Filori purring helps humans relax. Ilara felt something warm bloom in her chest, cutting through the exhaustion. This tiny, fierce creature was willing to steal medical equipment and argue with the ship's physician just to take care of her. It was absurd. It was inappropriate. It was exactly the kind of stubborn, illogical loyalty that made humans famous across the galaxy, except this time, it was being directed at her. She looked at Dr. Voss, who seemed to be engaging in some kind of internal calculation, his body shimmering with indecision. Actually, Doc, Ilara said softly, the medical literature does support the therapeutic benefits of animal-assisted comfort for humans, and Filori are technically classified as sentient companions in the interspecies medical database. Dr. Voss's chiming returned, though it sounded distinctly like a sigh. This is highly irregular. But not prohibited? Ilara pressed, a small smile tugging at her lips. I suppose not. The physician extended a manipulator arm toward Kiri. However, I will need my medkit returned. Kiri's ears perked up triumphantly. She deposited the medkit into Dr. Voss's grasp with exaggerated care, then immediately trotted over to Ilara and wrapped her small, furry arms around the human's leg. Come on! You need rest and scritches right now. As the unlikely pair made their way to Ilara's quarters, Kiri chattering about the proper techniques for human comfort, and Ilara listening with growing amusement, Dr. Voss watched them go. He made a notation in his medical log. Patient responsive to unconventional therapeutic intervention. Note: human pack bonding instincts appear to override logic, even when they are the recipients of care, not the caregivers. Fascinating. In her quarters later, Ilara lay on her bunk with Kiri curled up on her chest, the cub's small claws kneading gently against her shirt, while a deep, rumbling purr filled the room. The tension that had been coiled in Ilara's shoulders for days finally began to unwind. See? Kiri murmured sleepily. Scritches make everything better. Ilara's hand moved automatically to scratch behind the cub's ears, earning an even louder purr. Yeah, kiddo. I think you might be right. For the first time in 72 hours, Ilara closed her eyes and slept, guarded by the smallest, fiercest physician's assistant in the galaxy.